The German economic sentiment advanced less than expected. Nevertheless, it gained 4.6 points compared to the previous month. This is the highest reading since this time last year. So joining me now to discuss this data is Jeremy Cook from World First in London. So Jeremy, in your opinion, is this figure a fair picture of the German economy?
I certainly think the pickup in optimism is a fair representation of things, and obviously in the past month or so we've seen the ECB launch its quantitative easing program, and that's obviously been put into markets to try and regain some confidence within business, regain some confidence within markets as well, and push on aggregate demand and try and get businesses investing and consumers spending. So if this is the first real readout that we've had of how beneficial QE can be towards an economy, then certainly there's a tick in the box. Obviously, the ECB hasn't spent any money yet, but that will come through as we move through the month of March. But as far as the other figures that we've seen from the German economy as well, industrial production starting to move higher, retail sales benefiting from the fall off in inflation that we've seen in the past couple of months in the Western world, then it certainly shows that we are starting to see an increase in positivity around the German economy.
And how is Ukraine and the Greek crisis going to affect the German economy going forward?
Well, I mean, both actually have very, very real effect for the entire European economy. So it's a much broader question than just Germany. Certainly, from what I've read from the ZEW findings so far, they haven't really seen too much fall off in sentiment as a result of what's going on in Greece at the moment. It seems to be that everyone was sat there saying it's a pretty new situation. It's quite relaxed around the Greek situation at the moment. But obviously, given the more recent noises that we've heard out of the Eurogroup summit, for example, that maybe next month's figure is going to start reflecting a slight negativity around that. And obviously, if Greece goes over the cliff at the end of the month and we don't see a deal agreed, then that's obviously going to have a larger negative for the European economy moving forward as a whole. Likewise with Ukraine. A ceasefire was signed for Sunday, and it's Tuesday, and we're already hearing signs of further fighting within the country. The major economic hit was largely done last year with the imposition of sanctions, and I would think that German businesses are either got used to that by now, or have certainly broadened their markets to try and snap back some market share in able to overcome those difficulties. Obviously, if we see more and more sanctions upon the Russian state, then that's only going to be a negative for the German economy moving forward as well.
Are you optimistic about the German economy in the short to mid-term? And what kind of a figure could we expect for the next month's ZEW performance?
Well, I am optimistic about the German economy. I'm optimistic about the European economy moving forward as a whole. And the one thing we have to realize is that if we are going to start seeing a European recovery, then it's more than likely going to be led by that of Germany. The moves that we've seen lower in the euro, for example, euro dollar is currently trading at about 114, euro yen about 136, euro sterling is around 74. So all these big falls that we've seen in the euro have been beneficial for the export base of the European Union, and that's going to help. And that's going to help Germany moving forward. So I would be looking for that kind of area to be the real driving force of the German economy moving through the first part of 2015. If we continue to see that, then obviously ZEW numbers should be moving higher. And the near-term highs that we saw at the beginning of 2014 were numbers around the 62 mark, and I think that's a big jump from where we are at 53 at the moment. But there's no reason why we shouldn't be at least making moves towards that number. Maybe not next month, but certainly over the course of the next couple.
Thank you very much for your comments, Jeremy. That is all from me for today, but keep clicking back for more exclusive interviews. Goodbye for now.